Hello and welcome to Dropkick, the Commute. The amount of intros it just took for me to do it correctly just tells you what kind of day it's been. I left fresh plants that I bought this morning in the car all day in the blistering heat, and they died. And you know what? I think
let them burn.
Mufussy can attest to this. I'm just like sick of people's shit today.
You're going through it.
And not just like it's just like in all facets of my life, you know? We're just having a day. It is Monday, of course, so it is a given. But
Garfield hates Mondays.
Garfield, yeah, I'm feeling like Garfield today, but one thing remains constant and one thing remains worth getting excited for at the end of my day, and that is Dropkick, the Commute.
Oh,
Baby.
yeah, brother.
Got him.
Woo, woo, woo. Did you see?
How are you?
I'm good. I was gonna get right into it, but thank you for asking, Galeer. I'm doing well.
We gotta vibe check, you know?
Of course, I did jack shit at work today, so that's cool.
Don't let your boss hear this.
It's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, they know, probably. Give us money so we can quit our jobs.
Yeah, true.
That'd be sick.
That would be pretty epic. Did I see what? What did you want me to see?
Oh, I was gonna say, did you see Stephanie Vicaire made her debut match at a live show in Mexico?
I did.
It was against Isla Dawn.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy seeing her in the dubba.
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. And then she had a nice little handshake backstage with Damian Priest, like welcoming her there. Her entrance was cool. Her music is enjoyable. I'm excited to see it, like, obviously on the main, NXT stage. I'm sure it'll go a lot harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, she looks good. She her attire was sick. Her presentation is good. They're presenting her like she was a big pickup. So
presenting her like she should be.
Right.
Do you think they're gonna right away throw her in NXT, or do you think they're gonna wait until
I don't think this is gonna be like a Jade situation. I think they're gonna throw her right in there. I think she'll be, if not, this week, I think very soon.
Yeah.
Because they're already putting her on live shows, so.
Yeah, they're already advertising her. They didn't even do that with Jade. Right. Well, they did, but they didn't put her in shows, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think with all she's accomplished, on the indies, I don't think she needs, that training that they would usually do for, newer superstars. They can just fucking, throw her right into the mix and see where it goes.
I like that. She winning the NXT Women's Championship.
I hope they don't do it that quick. I don't want this to be an Ethan Page situation. I want her to be in a solid story.
Yo, you know what I was thinking about?
Go ahead.
Ethan Page, I think the only other time someone has won a championship that quickly off of their WWE debut that I can think of is fucking Sheamus.
Oh yeah, because he won it in what, a month?
They brought him, so he was on ECW for a minute, and then they brought him to Monday Night Raw, and I want to say 3 months in.
Damn.
And for Ethan Page, it was about half that.
Yeah.
So
that's quick.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that lately, and they said something on commentary. I think Kevin Owens debuted in NXT and won that shit super quickly. And Ethan Page broke that record. So I don't know if that's the all-time WWE record or if it's just
maybe just for NXT.
NXT record, yeah. But now things are moving. Things haven't stopped moving for NXT, dude. Honestly, we have been saying the TV's been good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I think NXT is, for me, the best weekly WWE programming that I've seen.
You think so?
It's a close tie with Raw, but I'm going to say NXT
Sure.
just because I hate that Raw is 3 hours long.
I don't know. I think I like Raw more. I guess I'm just more attached to the characters, so maybe that's
Oh, for sure. I'd say
But
Raw. It feels it's giving more story than like they give good matches, but I think it's giving more story than matches, and I think NXT has a good mix of both.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's where I'd put NXT above Raw. And guess what I did?
You went to Friday Night SmackDown.
I did.
Did you enjoy it? How was it? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I somehow missed the whole BBL Bailey thing.
Oh, you missed that?
But I was watching. Well, actually, so we were a little late to the show, just because we were getting drinks and stuff and getting all situated, bathroom, whatnot. But yeah, no, I missed that part. We came in halfway through that segment, so we saw right before they knocked Bailey down and teased the cash in.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked on, people were saying BBL Bailey this, BBL Bailey that, and I thought it was just an internet thing.
Yeah,
and
no, Nia said it.
Yeah, and I was like, damn. And so immediately, I took it to Anna, and I was like, hey, can you spot a BBL for me? Now, I don't want to read too deep into this, but I didn't think Bailey has BBL. And I know, the internet's obsessed with her. But I feel 9 times out of 10 you can spot a BBL, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think Bailey has a BBL, but I just wanted to be sure. And Anna will talk a lot to me about BBLs. There's this joke that my friend Landon used to make, and he'd be like, for her birthday, we're going to get you a BBL. And I was like, I don't think she'd like that. Nah, but, so yeah, I showed pictures to Anna. She goes, it just looked like she's proportionate.
Yeah, she is proportionate. So, I don't know.
Good. I'm good on Nia Jackson Bailey for leading.
It was a goofy little. It was a good little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
shout out Bailey. We love Bailey.
I have a question. When you're at a televised show, is the flow?
You haven't been to one?
Yeah, I've never been to one. I've only been to live shows. So, is the flow totally different? When you're sitting there, because they keep wrestling during commercial, obviously, right?
Yeah, the flow doesn't change.
And then,
when you think
when people do their entrances and it cuts to commercial, and they're just standing there.
Hang on. I gotta cut. Hi, can I please get a large Baja Blast Freeze? Sorry, I had to cut you off.
That's not the bakery.
The flow.
I was gonna say, so when people do their entrances and it cuts to commercial sometimes, and then they're still standing in the ring during their entrance, is their entrance just super long, or do they play shit on the screen?
No, they the lights go dim, and then they play play advertise, not TV advertisements, they'll advertise their own shit, and then sometimes if it's a baby face, they'll go to the crowd and take pictures or sign shit, whatever.
Interesting.
But most of the time, let's say the Blair Davenport match.
Yeah.
She made her entrance, and then they went to commercial, and then they do the normal advertisements, and then we're back, and then I think they show a promo, a backstage segment with, I want to say Solo probably.
Yeah.
And during that whole thing, she's literally just sitting in the dark in the ring with the ref waiting, and then they raise the lights and turn her music back on as if it were going the entire break. And
okay.
then the next person.
Did they announce it? Like we're back from commercial? Or is
no? You kind of can
just know.
gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just know. Like it's like, I don't know. The best way I'd describe it is they just like, it's as if you were watching it on TV. It's just all the things you're seeing are like.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like they're all, I don't know. It's all WWE stuff. Like on the screen.
Yeah.
In between, like in matches, the commercials aren't any different. It's like seeing the picture-in-picture commercial kind of deal. Like,
okay.
Yeah, the match does not stop.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, my friends would tell me like, yeah, they just like will stop the match in the commercial break and just hang out, and I was like, no.
Well, they did during the pandemic.
They sure did. They could get away with that.
Yeah.
SmackDown was good. I would say the experience was probably more fun than like the episode was to watch on TV.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't watch it like afterwards, but like it felt like a pretty meh episode.
Yeah, I don't have too many notes on it, so you can gauge
like, I feel
how
like
good the episode was by my notes.
Not a whole lot of important stuff happened.
Yeah.
And the stuff that like you would think would be important really kind of, I don't want to say fell flat, but it just like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton getting beat up didn't do it for me.
I think that was really the only important thing that happened though, like the whole episode, and it was kind of meh, but it's more set up for SummerSlam, and we got a confirmation that Cody will be facing Solo pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's official yet, but Cody was like, yeah, we'll fucking do it. And then LA Knight came out with the contract and was like, here, I signed it. Logan, you have to sign it, and we have a match at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. Which I really hope LA Knight fucking gets it, because Logan hasn't defended. And I saw what you tweeted earlier.
The ST. Yeah, sorry. I want to circle back to that, actually.
Yeah.
Because I should say, well, like I said, what was it? Like, you're telling me Logan just has a bunch of STDs. I just want to say, it's very important to get tested, people.
It is.
Especially if you're fucking around. Now, I don't know what percent of the viewership are, like, people that fuck around, but if you do fuck around, protect yourself, but also get tested regularly, because
to give a little context to this, I believe
sorry. We just went into this fully like blind.
Logan was like, my mom always told me, what is it, if you don't get tested for an STD, you don't have one, and that's why I don't defend my title, because I won't lose it or something. It was very goofy. It was a very goofy statement.
So I wanted to go back on it, because it's like, maybe he has STDs, but what it really is he just doesn't get tested. So he might not have any. I don't know. The guy's married and he's got a kid on the way, which actually ties into what we're talking about, which is why I feel like they're going to take the belt off of him anyways. Like, he's already kind of a part-timer, but, like, if he's having a kid pretty soon. So
that's true, yeah.
I would assume him and his missus are going to...
I mean, SummerSlam is a great place to do it for LA Knight too. I mean, it would be a massive moment. It's about moments, and that would be one.
Surely, dude. The energy was electric for Los Angeles night.
Dude, I was fucking dying when Anna grabbed your phone and said, "I don't know what's going on," and I said, "Just say yeah."
Yeah, that was really funny. I think that was one of my favorite parts about going to the show, because like, we went with her and her brother and his partner.
Yeah.
And, Anna doesn't really, like, care too much for wrestling. Like, she more so was going, like,
for you,
me.
essentially,
I was like, look, and she had work the next day at 4 a.m., too. So I was like, look, if you don't want to go, I'm like, I will not be upset. Obviously, like, I want you to go. But like,
well, you get it.
She's like, no. She's like, no. I'll go for you. And I'm just like, my favorite part about this was seeing how she reacted, because if you sit with the right group of people, that is going to be a fun experience. And we were against the wall in the nosebleeds basically, and we sat with the most rowdy group of dudes. like, just like saying like, "Do that to me, rip her dick off." When like fucking Davenport and Naomi, they were like, take her dick and twist it.
Oh my god.
Like, just like absolute like
unhinged, like funny fucking people.
But yeah, no, I asked her afterwards. I was like, "What are your thoughts?" And she was like, I think she was very honest. She was like, "I think I would have had more fun if I was closer to the action."
Yeah, that's like, a fair assessment.
That is very fair. Yeah. So,
because even that live show that I went to, like, it wasn't nosebleeds, but it was like kind of far, and it was lower to the ground, so like we could see it. But then they went into the crowd, and there was no screens, so I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
Oh, that was an L for us, because where we were, like, they had the screen above the ring to show the cameras and stuff, but you couldn't see it because like it was being blocked by it was obstructed by something.
Like specifically where you were sitting.
Yeah, exactly. So we couldn't. You kind of had to like duck under to like see it almost.
Damn.
Which is fine. Like again, it was still a good show. But yeah, not a terrible episode. I'm curious just to see what you have written down. I'd say like right off the bat, my highlights of the night were like LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, just single-handedly destroying the tag team
dude. He came out and fucking obliterated DIY, and
by the way, that was a good match.
Yeah, that was a great match. I love that match. It was really good. I think DIY as the champions are, you know, if they do it right, if they book them well, then I think they'll have a good tag run. But I was gonna say, yeah, Jacob like came out, cleared out DIY. He cleared the rings for Solo to come out, and I was like, damn, that like goes hard.
Okay. Also, I hate Solo's theme song, but that shit went so hard live.
We're taking it
all. Anna said, "Why does all the music sound the same?" And I said, "I wish I had the answer for you."
Def Rebel, that's the answer.
Yeah, so, the Solo segment.
And then they, beat the shit out of Cody and Randy. And Cody was yelling, you don't want him, take me!
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was yelling, take me! When they tied him on the rope and everything, and then they fucking triple powerbombed the Randy through the table.
It felt as if somebody was going to come out. And I say that because almost always in wrestling, well, I won't say that because it hasn't happened a lot lately, but like historically in wrestling, when the good guys are getting beat up and the odds are outnumbered, someone shows up, and my dumbass was like, man, I wish Roman would show up in
Worcester, Massachusetts. Hear me out.
That wasn't going to happen.
Hear me out. They triple powerbombed Heyman. They just triple powerbombed Randy. This is my official Mufussy prediction. They're gonna triple powerbomb Kevin Owens, and then at SummerSlam, they're gonna go to triple powerbomb Cody. They do it, and then Roman comes out right after the powerbomb happens. Solo's gonna stand there wearing the Ula Fatu or whatever it is. I don't know how to pronounce it. But the necklace, he's going to be standing there. They're going to be ones up, and then his music's going to hit. He's going to come out. And they're just going to have a stare down. That's how SummerSlam ends. Boom, book it. Trips?
At this point, we know Roman's coming back.
For sure. Yeah.
That, I think we'll all be, insanely fucking schematics.
And especially Jacob saying, he was like, everyone's gone, everyone's out of here, I'm the tribal chief. They're putting it down. They're really building up for him to show up soon.
Which, honestly, I was expecting Roman to just be gone for, a year.
Yeah.
Honestly. I was very much expecting him not to come back anytime soon.
What if he is? What if I'm wrong and he is just gone for a long time? What
We're
happened?
going to be suffering.
Yeah.
They're going to be suffering for a long time.
Wait, what? I think SummerSlam is the right choice, though.
Also, I think SmackDown ended at like 2 or 3 minutes early, and that's why I thought something was going to happen, because I kept looking at the time when it was happening, and it was like 9:57, and I was like,
there's still 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's not anything. Well, dude, wrestling's so fast, like anything can happen.
Right.
So, but alas, it did not. But what was not televised was the advertised double main event for Friday Night SmackDown, which was Braun Strowman versus Carlito and Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Which I was very excited for once I heard about it, and I was like...
You're like, oh my god, Jay's gonna win! No?
Yeah, yep. Carlito and Braun was whatever. Carlito spit apples in his face. It was great.
Did Braun chase him? Did he do the train?
Yeah, he did. He did the train. And then Damian Priest and Jey Uso also fucked. They did... Jey Uso, like, hyped up the crowd, just kept yeeting everywhere. He got the ref to yeet. It was insane. And then Damian Priest yeeted with him as well.
Who was the ref for that one?
I want to say it was Dan Engler.
Okay.
So he like hyped up the crowd, was like, whoa, and then he did a big ass fucking yeet with his full body. Damian Priest wins. And they shake hands. Just a fun little match, extra 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
We're on our merry way home, but definitely a fun experience. And Raw is coming to Providence August 26th.
Ooh,
so
you going?
I'm gonna try, and I want to like save up so I can get like better seats.
Yeah.
Because
that would go hard.
I'm gonna go into the bakery. It's really hot in my car.
All right.
Do you have anything left on SmackDown?
I don't think so. Other than it's Tiffy time. How do you feel as Tiffany has Money in the Bank?
I think she's gonna cash in on Nia.
Right at SummerSlam?
Nia's gonna win. She's gonna cash in on Nia on SummerSlam.
I like
Actually, no. I think that they'd be doing her dirty one too many times. Nia Jax deserves like a okay title run.
Yeah. Apparently, so, she was like trying to do that cash in on SmackDown. Apparently, she tried again at the live event in Mexico.
Hell yeah.
So, they're pushing it. She's gonna rush with that. Or they're gonna tease it for months. Like, she's gonna go and do it. Do you think, I feel like high key, like, Triple H hates Money in the Bank. Like, they're rushing them so much. I'm wondering if, like,
yeah,
if they're eventually gonna get rid of
it. Well, they didn't with
Damian. Yeah, Damian held it all year, so I don't know.
I don't think he hates it, but I do. It's been a hot topic amongst our community.
Yeah, the commute. The community.
The community. Community.
The Dropkick universe.
Yeah. I don't think he hates him, but I do think people really don't like the same day cash in.
Money in the Bank is a very passionate topic, apparently.
Well, look, like I said before, it's like for every for every same night cash in, you have to have one that lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case every year, but that's been the case for a little bit. Like again, this year we had Drew. Last year, EO cashed in a month later, which I will refer to that as like a same day cash in because it basically was.
It was quick,
like,
yeah.
Year before that, Liv Morgan. Year before that, Nikki did it like I think the Raw after.
Yeah, literally 1 day later, or 2 days later, or whatever.
So, definitely some shenanigans. I'm trying to think of 2020. Asuka gave up the briefcase the next day on Raw when she won Money in the Bank during COVID.
Yep.
2019, Bayley cashed in the same night.
Yeah, it's just continuous.
I don't know who won in 2018. I think... I don't know, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
That's just been the formula. I think they honestly like need to switch it up and like have both of them hold it for like over a year.
For a while.
But I also understand like that can get redundant if two people hold it for longer, and it's like you're basically running the same storyline with two different people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, y'all are passionate about Money in the Bank though, so. Sound off, speak your truth.
Go
talk
off,
your
kings
shit.
and queens.
Yeah. I have a question for you, if we're allowed to move on now.
Is this the rant time?
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
We're gonna rant a little bit. We're gonna... I've just been in an angry mood today, so let's fuel the fire a little bit.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna list off some matches, okay?
Okay.
And I'll tell you when I'm done listing them off, but I want you to think about what all these matches might have in common.
Okay.
Okay? Ready? Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega, Impact World Championship.
Okay.
Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Yuta.
Okay.
Adam Cole versus Hangman in a Texas death match. Eddie Kingston versus Konosuke Takeshita. Jungle Boy versus Rey Fenix. Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki.
Okay.
CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia. And Cody Rhodes versus Ethan Page for the TNT Championship. Now, that's all the matches.
My first thing was going to be Collision. But now you said Cody Rhodes and Ethan Page. Did they end in roll-ups?
No. Okay. I'm not that passionate about the roll-ups.
Okay.
So
I don't know the common thread then.
First and foremost, maybe barring the Ethan Page match, but just because Cody's in it. First and foremost, these all seem like pretty fucking killer matches, right?
Right.
But the main point I really want to drive in here is that all these matches happened on AEW Rampage weekly programming.
On Rampage?
Yes.
Okay.
What happened? What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. They made Collision. And they made Collision their other banger show. And Rampage is now on the back burner. They should not have 3 shows. They should not have 3 shows.
I just feel as if Rampage to me is okay, when it started in 2021, it was like that was the continuation of like Dynamite beef.
And also think of how it started.
The first episode was the Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega Impact World title.
The first one?
Christian beat Kenny Omega. I would say clean, but like he cheated. But he was the babyface. He beat him for the Impact World Championship.
Okay.
On their first show. And normally, too, I would also be against someone else's championship changing hands on a different show. But it was a banger fucking match, and then the week after we got CM Punk. So, yeah, obviously, like, it started with a bang, and then, a lot of things could have played into this. But my point being, I feel like Rampage, as it kind of went on, turned more... I feel like it evolved into a dream match show. Yeah. And some might still argue now that it's a dream match show. Like, this week, we had that fatal 4-way with a bunch of high flyers. You know, some might think that as a dream show, but also, like, for the most part, they're just like nothing matches, and like, it's like Ring of Honor. It's Ring of Honor's like overflow.
Yeah,
you know, they got Bobby Cruz doing the announcing. They've got fucking, like, you know, they've got what was it? Some kind of contention for the Ring of Honor World Title, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was on Collision. I'm sorry.
That was on Collision. But you know, I get what you're saying. And the other thing with Rampage is, like,
Cody Rhodes was on AEW Rampage.
Yeah.
Who main evented Rampage this week? It was Top Flight. No disrespect to Top Flight. I love Top Flight. But it was Top Flight and Shane Taylor Promotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, again, no disrespect to them, but they're not, like, main event level people. Like, we had fucking Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, like, for the TNT title. And, like, again, main event players just aren't on Rampage anymore. And so...
Yeah, it's because they put them all on Collision.
I almost feel like that's what just, like, strips it of its like not credibility, but, like, I feel you have to have big names on your show as, like, an attraction.
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm wondering if it's like, I wonder if since they brought Collision, right? I'm wondering if after CM Punk left, maybe Collision wasn't doing that well. So then they brought all their big names and everything to Collision, and Collision is doing well now. So they have 3 shows, and that's a problem.
I would say Collision is doing all right. Like,
yeah,
you know, I mean,
overall, like, it's AEW. They're
in the grand scheme of things, they're doing better than Rampage. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're doing better than Rampage, but it's like they have 3 shows, and where it's so weird because their roster feels inflated but also spread thin at the same time. You know?
Where is everybody? You know?
Yeah, and the thing with Rampage too is, like, sometimes you'll have the continuous stories, but something small will happen on Rampage, and it'll just be like an interview, and then they reference it on Collision or Dynamite. Like,
and then they're like, yeah. Again, it's like we've revisited this before. We're banking on the belief that everyone knows who everyone is, but we're also banking on the belief that the audience will perceive these little, like, events that happen as, like, bigger than they actually are.
Right.
Like, yeah, I've been following fucking the Premier Athletes, and you know, they have been a little more, like, prevalent on Rampage and Collision. But, like, there'll be some small thing, and then a match will be booked. And, like, obviously you can tell the reasoning of the match being booked is because of that one little, like, 30, 45 second segment that happened, like, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, expected of us to remember it. And, like, I know ready, here come y'all in the fucking comments, like, oh, don't, like, you need to be spoon-fed all your wrestling. It's like, well, yeah, like, to a degree. Because also, if you want audience retention, that's, like, sorry, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, wrestling, again, is all about repetition and just saying things over and over again until they stick with people. I.e., like, you started watching NXT basically when we started watching this podcast. Within 2 weeks, you, like, knew everything because that's just how wrestling is. They feed it to you and continuously, like, say the same shit over and over again. Do you know how many times I fucking heard that Baron Corbin is, like, a Golden Gloves boxing champion? It's because they mention it whenever he's in the ring.
Right.
And, like, and that's not even an important detail about Corbin. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't even know that, but I do.
I mean, that's also, like, on the commentary as well, right? I feel like a lot of times with AEW commentary, it's them, like, yeah, they talk about the matches, they talk about the wrestling, and then it's just them, like, cracking jokes at each other, but they're not, like, they're not saying things to get cemented in your head like WWE does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Vic Joseph will go off. Like, on NXT, Vic Joseph will go off with all these stats and facts and all that stuff. And then Booker T will say some fucking, like, you know, some Booker T mannerism. But you remember it. You remember it
right.
because they say it, like, yeah, 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. And you get stuck with it.
There are ways to get your audience to remember, you know, remember things like this. And it's just like, I don't know, man.
And even names.
Even
names.
Very surface.
Like NXT.
Yeah.
If you showed me a bunch of NXT superstars right now, I could probably name them all. If not, you know, I could name most of them probably. There's people on Rampage and even Collision sometimes where I watch and I don't know people's names still. I don't know the Premier Athletes' names. I don't know them. Shane Taylor Promotions, I can't name them. I just know the tag team. Like, I've been watching AEW, again, weekly for a long time, and I cannot name a lot of people.
A lot of the times, like, I'm a day oneer, and I know these names, and so I think a lot of the times, too, they're banking on you being a day oneer or you know, watching CMLL or watching New Japan or what have you, you know? Yeah. I think at very surface level, just comparing the matches they were having then versus the matches that we saw, say, this week.
Yeah.
It just really feels like they are reaching deep into the bag and just kind of throwing together like an indie match card, which...
And then we're also not saying we should have banger matches every single week. Like,
no. And to a degree, you know, like sometimes there are banger matches.
Right.
Like, I'm not...
Yeah.
The worst part about all this is that, like, it's unfortunate that, like, it's so bad because we're probably coming off as AEW haters again. Right. But, like, it's just like I lived through Rampage's heyday and respectfully AEW's heyday, like, and they're working. I think they're gonna get back to a point where it's gonna be like worth watching again and really like rewarding to watch. And it kind of like already is kind of, but there are still some aspects about it, you know. And I feel like to a degree, I feel like it's growing pains, you know.
Yeah.
We were saying like how even though their product hasn't been the best, like AEW's still like on the up and up.
Yeah.
You know, they're growing, they're like doing all those things. But I think with all these new additions, i.e. Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor, i.e. starting another show, like I think with those come like growing pains, and now you have to figure out how to balance all these and how to like still please your audience, and how to manage a wrestling company, and how to manage a football company, and how to manage a soccer company.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan, you should really hire a booker.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't doubt, like, I know Tony Khan is for the fans because he's booked matches that have made people go crazy. But, you know, it's just very different now.
Yeah.
It's the best way I'd put it. It's like, you know, yeah, man.
I know. I get what you're saying. I think we're gonna start talking in circles here.
Very passionate about this topic.
I think we're gonna start talking in circles here. But overall, like, you know, Rampage is not as strong as it used to be, and it's true because like, it's my least favorite show to watch every week. And I'm like, well, I guess I better throw on Rampage. Like, that's literally how I feel about it.
It's an hour of like...
It's an hour of just tossing it on my other... Yeah, I'm tossing it on my other monitor. I'm like, okay, whatever. And if something notable happens, I'll mark it down. But if not, then I'm just like, that was Rampage. Like, that's how
What
I feel
happened this
week
week on Rampage?
I wrote one thing down, and it was a comedic bit And that's it. I don't think I can name anything else, but it's when Orange Cassidy was at commentary and Undisputed Kingdom was in the ring, and Orange Cassidy gets up and goes, hey, let's go stare him down. Stare downs are rad. And then he stood at the end of the ramp and they had a stare down, which led to the next night. But I'm like, dude, I don't know. It's not exciting.
Yeah.
Like Collision I genuinely enjoy, and I get excited to watch Collision every week. This week,
well, they also give you enough time to like enjoy it. Like, I feel like an hour is so hard to work with when it's wrestling.
Yeah.
It used to be like when they started, they like understood 2 to 3 matches a show. Now they're like somehow cramming 5 matches in a single episode of Rampage.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which I just like. Yeah, you can have quick matches, but in succession, I don't know about that. Like,
yeah,
like I think a good like balance where
the past 3 WWE PLEs have been 5 matches, and that's 3 hours.
And they've been 3 hours. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. And then Collision, I would say the notable thing that happened was, Jay White got injured last week, supposedly he got injured by Christian, and then Chris Daniels came out and he stripped the Bang Bang Gang of the trios titles. Then Christian and the Patriarchy came out and said, okay, you can give them to us, but then he was like, no, we're gonna have a match and it's gonna be between you guys at a later date. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they didn't even say when it's happening.
Yeah, at a later date, number 1, but also number 2, what's the point of stripping them? Just so Christian can win? In that case, just have the other guy fill in, have Juice fill in, and then have Christian get him. Like,
right. Also, I want to point out that Christopher Daniels was like, you know, maybe it works somewhere else, but in AEW,
yeah, we don't fill in.
We don't fill in. Can we just recall when MJF and Adam Cole were tag team champions? Can we just recall? Do you remember when Adam Cole got injured?
Yeah.
And how many more ROH tag team title defenses did they have before they lost the championships?
Didn't he do them by himself though?
That's what I'm saying.
So just have a 2v3, bro. If they don't want Juice to fill in. But that's the thing, is Juice is there, but he's not an official member. So it's like, who fucking cares?
Also, remember when Samoa Joe filled in with MJF and defended the titles with him?
Oh, that did happen.
And he said, if I help you, I get a world title shot.
Oh my god.
So it's almost like we're just throwing logic out the window. And look, I know that like that's how wrestling works, but it's like, in this very specific circumstance, just give the we know the belts are going to the Patriarchy anyways. That's where this is going.
Yeah. Either just give them to them like they were gonna do, or just have Juice fill in and have the Patriarchy win. Like, it's goofy. I don't know. And then Orange Cassidy hit Trent Beretta with a giant fucking monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Which was
so
fun.
that's not over yet. Also, is he still in the Don Callis family, Trent?
I don't know. Yes? I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to say
that's
yes.
All. That's the only that's the only question I had.
Yeah. I don't know. Lots of wrestling, lots of stuff here. AEW, I think, see, as we get closer to All In, it's going to get better as it does. Hopefully. I don't know how I feel about Danielson and Swerve.
You're not about it?
I don't think I am.
I do agree, like, that
I have no doubt it's going to be a killer match. It's going to go hard.
They should have booked him in the... They should be booking him a lot better than they are. They should stop selling, like, this like, his body's falling apart and he's barely winning by the skin of his teeth, because it's like, all right, well, then I'm not convinced unless he also beats Swerve for the world title with a roll-up.
It just doesn't feel like the main event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
I would rather, like... get we're on the Danielson farewell tour, but I would much rather see Swerve versus Hangman in the main event of All In.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
Yeah,
3
it would
times.
be like the culmination of this fucking big feud. I'm sure he's going to get involved somehow before then. I'm sure it's going to happen, but...
Quick, on the fly fantasy booking. Leading up to All In, like 2 weeks, maybe a week before, Danielson gets attacked backstage by Hangman, gets injured. He's the replacement for All In. And then Danielson, later before the year ends, gets his shot and wins the world title off of, like...
Or, here we go. Wait,
Swerve
I'm going to up your
Hangman.
fantasy booking.
Oh,
I'm
he's
going to up your
it.
fantasy booking.
Okay, he's upping it?
Danielson gets attacked by Nigel McGuinness backstage. Hangman is the replacement for the main event, and then Nigel and Danielson at All In.
See, now you're starting to
time.
understand the
There's
vision.
still time.
Dude, you know what my favorite is? Is like the juxtaposition of like me being like, yo, fuck AEW's booking. Also me, give me Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson at All In.
Oh my
It's like
God.
that one meme, and it's like, men only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Nigel
And it's like but it's like a picture of Jinder Mahal with the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
We should make it. I'm gonna Photoshop that shortly after this. Galeer only wants one thing, and it's Danielson and McGuinness at All In. Oh man.
God, I love wrestling.
Yeah,
you know what
me
I also
too.
love? Being in an air-conditioned room.
Yeah, well, let's have you go to your air-conditioned room.
I'm
we have
slick.
we have a lot of fucking pay-per-views coming up. We have TNA Slammiversary on Saturday. We have SummerSlam on the 3rd, Bash in Berlin on the 31st, All In on the 25th, and All Out on the 7th. It's the summer
Okay.
of wrestling,
Okay.
and I'm coming to see you. So
Yeah, you are coming. We'll probably do an in-person episode.
yeah,
I'd
well,
presume.
in-person episode, maybe an in-person silly video of sorts. Ooh.
I don't want to be silly with you.
What?
Oh, wait. Shit, were you
What?
recording that?
What?
I'm sorry.
Anyways, let's get Galeer back in the air conditioning. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for joining, commenting, subscribing, following, reposting, all that shit. If you want to give us money, tip at the Ko-Fi down below. Thank you for 500 subs on YouTube. We're on our way
Shout
to
out
YouTube
500
partner.
on YouTube, baby.
Thank you guys so much. Big W's, and yeah,
Been real. We're gonna get 1,000 by October. I'm feeling it.
bro. I'm gonna say it.
Can we get it up to 1,000 by October? Let's go, guys.
We're gonna get 1,000 by September.
Okay.
I'm saying it.
Okay.
By
Manifest.
AEW All Out, we are going to have 1,000 subscribers.
Okay.
I bet you $5.
You don't have to bet. I said
Shake
okay
on it.
like 5 times. Nope, I don't want to shake on it.
Oh,
I'm agreeing with you.
okay.
Okay.
Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Dropkick the commute, shining bright in the